and cheap. Hello, welcome to another video blog that's all about, as you probably guessed, the hat. This hat I saw for sale in a local charity shop for £1.50, well, £1.49. And straight away I thought, I wonder how many wind muffs I can get out of the hat. Wind muffs like this one. This one, this bit of fluff on top of the EOS M10, I got from the internet, and it's a great little wind muff. It works, it cuts down an awful lot of wind noise, but it costs £12.50 for a bit of fluff and some Velcro. So I thought, this stylish headgear, I bet I could make some of them. I've got some scissors and some Velcro lying about the house, a little bit of ingenuity. Maybe a Stanley knife might come into play, I don't know. I haven't done it yet, as you can see. The hat's still in one piece. But what I'm going to do is see if I can make a wind muff as a spare for this one. And then also one that will do the lapel mic. And also one I thought, actually, this brim looks perfect to go on top of the Rode video mic. Maybe I can get all three out of it. Might need to brush up on my sewing skills, but hey, life's a challenge. So, this is what I did to the hat that became a wind muff. Okay, let's make a start on this. First things first, what tools will I need? First of all, a marker pen and a ruler, a couple of pairs of scissors, a sharp knife perhaps, some Velcro, maybe some super glue, and perhaps needle and thread. We'll also need the microphones that we're going to be making the wind muffs for, and obviously the hat. One last thing that we'll need, we'll need the original muff for the template, and there we go, a chopping board so that we don't ruin the nice table. We can chop things up on that. But before we do any of that, we need to take the hat apart. And there we are. We've got three bits. There's the top, the sides, and the brim. The brim, I'm hoping, is going to be useful because it's already in a tube. And what I'm hoping for is that that tube will just slot right onto the road like that, and I'll just have to stitch up one end. Yeah, it fits on that one. Whoop. This is one thing you're going to have to be careful with. I wouldn't have lots of camera and sensitive stuff lying about while you're doing this, because there's lots of bits of fluff, hair, fur. By the way, for anyone's interested, this is fake fur, so no animals were harmed in the making of this video. Let's try this one and see if the hole is going to be big enough. Yeah, I love it when a plan comes together. So trim that off, stitch it up at the end. Wind muff. The first thing I wanted to do was to measure this, which I've already done it. It's about 30 millimeters, more or less spot on, by about 15 or 16. But I'm going to cut to 30 by 20. My Velcro that I'm going to use is fortunately 30 millimeters wide or thereabouts, so I just need to cut off something that's about 17 or 18 millimeters thick. So if I measure that off and then take a pair of scissors to it, we have a piece of Velcro that will do the job. Now the next thing is the really difficult bit, and that's to cut a hole out for the sound to go through out of the Velcro. That's why we need the sharp knife, but be very careful, and the cutting board. That doesn't look too bad, does it? I don't know if you can see the holes, but that's about right. So what I need to do now is to get that on there. Where's my pen? Let's get it towards the edge a little. What I will do is clean as much of the loose fur that's coming off around the edges as possible before I go in with the Velcro and stick the Velcro to it. And you can see there's quite a bit comes off, so be careful with it. There we go. Now I'm going to stick the Velcro to that, but just to make sure that it holds really well, we're going to put some super glue on. Or my stand-in for that. I think I might have cut the fur a little there, but on the next one, there we go. If I hadn't have cut the fur there when I was cutting it out, that would be excellent, I think. Okay, so wind muff number 2 is for the lapel mic, which I've got here. So what I'm using is the sides of the hat, because what I want to do is just, my idea is to fold a bit over, stitch it up both sides, job's a good one. So let me have a bit of a guess as to how much we'll need. About there, I'm thinking. So we'll cut ourselves a bit of the so here's our bit of fluff. Right, now I've just finished putting the wind muff together for the lapel mic, which you can see is nestling on my chest right now, and to prove that that's the sound that's coming out of it, there you go, it's going into the Zoom H1. There's the lead for it. I know I know there's no wind in here, but I'm just gonna have a listen to it to see what the sound quality is. Has it changed dramatically from without the wind muff? And so that you didn't watch me tediously sewing for 20 minutes, what I did was I cut a length of the sides, put the lapel mic in it, folded it over, and then just stitched up either side, trimmed off the edges, and then turned it the right way round. Actually, I did it that way so that the fur would stand up. So inside out, sewed it up each side, trimmed off the edges, turned it inside out, and this is the result. That's the foam inner. Obviously I'm going to get rid of all the little bits of fluff. That would go onto the microphone. I'm sorry for all the rustling and stuff, but at least it proves that that's the mic that's in use. And then just slip the wing muff over, and there it is. All for a pair of scissors, a little bit of ingenuity, and some sewing skills with the old needle and thread. Next, the Zoom microphones. So for the Zoom microphones, I'm hoping this is going to be the easiest build. All I really need to do is, because the brim already is in the shape of a tube, I'm just going to stick the microphone in, cut it to length, stitch it up, there we go. That looks good to me. And tidy it up. All this stuff I'm going to trim off, but if I go a little bit beyond the end and simply cut it off. So that's all the sewing done. I've now got two, I think they're called dead cat wind muffs for the roads. One's a bit neater than the other one. That one's a little bit neater because I could turn it inside out when I did the stitching. The stitching, by the way, I'm not the world's best seamstress, so the stitching's a bit rough and ready, but it does a job. But before I stitched, I turned that one inside out, and it's made for a much neater finish. That one, I couldn't quite get it to turn inside out, so I just stitched on the outside. But as you can see, we've got a wind muff for it. We've also got, that's the original micro muff that sits on the EOS M10, and here are my two spares with the holes cut out of the Velcro, so we now have spares for that. And here's the lapel mic with its muff that can just come off and relatively simply go back on. There you go. All that for a £1.50 fur hat from the local charity shop. A little bit of ingenuity and some sewing skills. And I've also got a large bag of spares that I'm going to keep in the bag, because if you're going to try this at home, honestly, be prepared for lots and lots of fluff and bits floating around. I'm going to have to go and get the hoover out now and tidy up because there's bits everywhere. But these cost a small fortune on the internet. If you can find an old hat or some material and have a go yourself, you can save yourself a small fortune. So hope that helped. Until next time, bye.